Welcome back, students. Let us continue with our topic types of forces. So, we have seen the force can be categorized into two groups, that is contact force and non-contact force. What are contact forces? So, when any two objects come in contact with each other physically, that when it touches each other and the force applied is called contact forces. Now, contact forces further can be divided into two groups. The first is muscular force and the second is frictional force. The force which results due to the action of muscles. हम हमारे मसल्स से जो फोर्स अप्लाई करते हैं दूसरे बॉडी पे, that is called muscular force. Now this force can be exerted by both humans and animals. You can see over here, these bullocks, they are carrying this load. In the figure you can see it. So the force is applied by the muscles of this bullocks to carry this heavy load, right? So even again we can take the example of cricket. Bowling or batting both gives the movement to a ball, right? And in each case, both the case, we can say the force applied on the ball is muscular force. It is applied by our muscles, that is we do that activity by our hands, by physical touch to that ball. Okay, so that is called muscular force. And the another type of force is frictional force. Now, how can we define frictional force? The force which always opposes the motion of the body over another body is called frictional force. Now, the example of frictional force, we can say it, how can we walk? हमें चलने के लिए ग्राउंड के साथ फ्रिक्शन करना पड़ता है, राइट? फ्रिक्शन मीन्स एक दूसरे के कांटेक्ट में आना, एक दूसरे के पर घिसना, right? That is called friction. So to move, to walk, to run, we have friction with the ground. हमारे legs का ground के साथ friction होता है, and the force applied by the ground, it is in opposite direction to that we are moving. हम जिस दिशा में चल रहे हैं, अगर हम आगे चल रहे हैं तो फ्रिक्शनल फोर्स अप्लाइड बाय द ग्राउंड, इट इज बैकवर्ड. then and then only movement of any object is possible. ठीक है, अगर कोई birds को fly करना है, they have to have friction with air. और air का जो friction होता है birds के body के साथ, that is in opposite direction to the movement of birds. Birds जिस direction में जा रहे हैं, exactly to the opposite of it, they have friction with air, right? So the frictional force, it acts in the direction opposite to the motion of the body. It is always in the opposite direction. So these two were the types of contact forces. Now what about non-contact forces? Non-contact forces means it is applied, the force is applied between the two objects without touching, without physical contact, without coming in contact with each other. The force which is exerted between two objects, it is called non-contact forces. Now we can further divide this non-contact forces into three categories. First is magnetic force, second is electrostatic force, and the third is gravitational force. Now what is magnetic force? Right, you would have seen magnets. In fact, you all might have played with it. मैग्नेट्स एक दूसरे के तरफ अट्रैक्ट होते हैं या फिर रिपल होते हैं. when like poles of the magnet come in contact with each other, they repel, and unlike poles अगर contact में आते हैं, they attract. But there is a force acting between two magnets. ठीक है, अगर किसी नेल के पास मैग्नेट रख दो, भले देर इज अ गैप बिटवीन इट, देर इज नो फिजिकल कॉन्टैक्ट बिटवीन अ नेल एंड मैग्नेट, स्टिल द नेल विल मूव टुवर्ड्स मैग्नेट. That force exerted between two objects without physical contact, that is called magnetic force. Okay, then the second type is electrostatic force. How can we define electrostatic force? आपने कभी देखा है, आपने अगर कॉम्ब अपने बालों पे रब किया है and then try to touch that comb, try to bring that comb nearer to a skin, you will feel an electric current sort of feeling आएगी आपको, right? That is electrostatic force. So the force applied by a charged body on charged or uncharged body, it is called electrostatic force. ठीक है, कोई चार्ज्ड बॉडी से दूसरे चार्ज्ड या अनचार्ज्ड बॉडी पे फोर्स अप्लाई किया जाता है, then it is called electrostatic force. Now third type of non-contact force is gravitational force. It is the force of gravity, we say. It is the force exerted by earth on all the objects to attract the objects towards the earth. जब भी कोई एप्पल या फ्रूट ट्री से गिरता है, why don't he go up? नीचे क्यों आता है? That is because of gravitational force. जो फोर्स अर्थ दूसरे ऑब्जेक्ट्स पे अप्लाई करता है उसकी तरफ खींचने के लिए. ठीक है, द फोर्स with which the earth attracts the object towards it is called gravitational force or force of gravity. So these were the three types of non-contact forces. Okay, now our next topic is pressure, and that we are going to continue in the next part of our video.